Yeah, so Sarah, could you tell us more about, I guess, growing up in Singapore and being in the scene in Singapore? How has Singapore shaped you into the person that you are today?
I think a lot of very Singaporean values are about respect and being equal, racial harmony, stuff like that. Actually, our band is very, very, very much the Singaporean representative. We've got Malay, Chinese, Indian in the band, just like the band alone.
And I think poster band.
Yeah, and we all sing in each other's languages, which is very fun for us. So I think that's one thing that audiences always love.
Yeah.
I think a very big thing that we take is respect. Like, I think it's still very much a big thing in Singapore where, the most common thing is respect your elders, or just in general, like respecting even just the venue you're at, or
respecting each other.
Yeah, respecting each other, respecting the people that you're talking to, that you're working with, even if it's not just the band. I think also responsibility, not
like
to sound so boring, like I said, about time management and stuff like that. And I think just in general, like being humble, like knowing where you're coming from. I mean, you could be the most famous person in Singapore, but yes, you're famous in Singapore. Sad to say, we're just a tiny little dot. So when you go out there into the real world, like if as musicians, even if we were to travel to just Australia,
yeah,
their support for the scene is way stronger than ours. We have so much to learn.
So being humble and always being open to learning from other places and other people.
So I think in general, just learning to be humility, and learning to be humble, and making sure that you try your best all the time. I think that's one thing that we always learn in school, right?
Yeah.
To always give it our all. So yeah.
So how has growing up in Singapore shaped you personally into the person and the woman that you are today?
I think we take it for granted that I am actually able to finish a gig at 2 a.m. and drive home and nothing happens to me. I think that sense of security is something that I will always never ever let go of. Like, especially at gigs where customers can get drunk and out of control. For me to be able to say, like, I'm not scared of you.
And to feel safe. Right?
To feel safe, I think that's something that I feel very strongly about, and I'm very proud of as a Singaporean. And I think it also helps with the confidence on stage, that I know that I'm taken care of by, even if it was just a random stranger in the audience, the minute that they see that something is happening there, they know that they have to do something about it, and they will stand up for me. So I think that being in Singapore, it's definitely helped a lot with my ability to just be who I am as a female on stage.
Yeah.
We're given that immense amount of equality. I can stand my ground against a guy and say anything. Of course, not say anything I want.
Yeah.
But I don't have to fear that I will receive backlash for speaking out as a woman, because I think that's something that a lot of slightly more conservative societies still face till today, and I think that's something that we take for granted. So.
What kind of support did you get, and what support is there out there for aspiring musicians today?
When you work in a musician type environment, it's no longer about like, oh, you must finish this. It's about, why are you not finishing it? You are so capable of finishing it,
Yeah.
And I think that there are a lot of platforms that help to develop that kind of a mindset. There's, of course, NEC works very closely with a lot of musicians and a lot of music-related industries. We have grants because of NEC to travel. If we want to promote our music outside of Singapore, if you want to record an EP, you're a budding young musician, you want to record something of your own, they actually give grants for that as well.
Okay, yeah.
And I mean, just in general, like, there's a lot of support from, I think, government body, I suppose. We don't really see it just yet, but if you go and ask, it's actually there.
There is a lot of support.
There is support, and it's not. And one of the people who's working at NEC is a musician himself. He's the drummer from King Kong Jane, so he is one of the guys that I look up to, like, all the time. Like, I tell him, his name is Jian Ping, And I always tell him that, you know, if you weren't doing noise, I wouldn't be as passionate about it as I am now, because I see how much work he puts into just making a name for everyone, not for himself.
Yeah.
You know, he does it for the greater good of the music industry. He doesn't really care about himself anymore. You know, he's really just trying to make sure that our industry grows and our industry gets better and stuff like that. And there are so many people out there who are like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a matter of trying to get the support of everyone else to come on board and say, look, we have something here.
Yeah.
You know? You don't
And it's
have
really
to keep
getting
playing.
committed to it.
Yeah,
and
you don't
making
have to
it
keep
grow.
playing like music from overseas. We have good stuff here.
Yeah.
And I think we should support that.
So that being said, too, do you have any mentors that that have supported you in a certain way, or really like shaped your understanding of the industry and the scene and who you are as a person?
I would say that the people who have, always been very, very kind to us and very, very supportive of us are Jack and Ray. I met them, Alvin and I met them a long time ago when we first came out, and they have been nothing but very, very kind and very supportive. But the most important thing I find that I always tell people that I work with as mentees, that you need to make your audience feel welcome. So even if it's just like looking out into the audience every night, and if you see a familiar face and you go, hey, the fact that you remember who they are makes them feel like, wow, okay, these guys actually do bother.
Yeah.
So that's one very big thing I learned from Jack and Ray. Building a human relationship with people. We learned a lot about how to maintain your composure and how to be a very positive musician from them.
Yeah.
They never lose their cool.
Yeah.
No
I love their vibe.
Yeah, no matter how difficult a client can be, they're always very calm and always trying to make the best of the situation. And I think that's one thing that we've always learned from them. Like,
I think they're awesome.
they're really something else, and that's what has kept them in the industry for the longest time.
What do you wish someone had told you like 5-10 years ago when you were starting out in the scene?
This is a very hard question because there's so much to say, right? The most important thing is to make sure that you know whether your own craft is good. You are your most important critique. And I think if you can't even tell yourself that, sometimes people always tell themselves that they're really bad and they always feel like they're bad and it breaks their confidence down. That's one end of the spectrum. And then there's the other end where you keep thinking that you're really good.
But you're really
Yeah, but you're really just okay.
Yeah.
So you need to be your own critique, but also make sure that you have a bunch of people around you that you can really trust to be very, very truthful to you. Like, I'm very lucky that my family is very they're very critical, but in a very positive way, in a very honest way. And I think everybody needs that kind of a circle. And of course, hard work always pays off. If you've been doing gigs for a while and they're still coming fine, fine in between sometimes, just maybe have a think, like, is it because of something I'm doing wrong, or is it because just time doesn't really work for me? Because you have people like John Mayer who worked so many years before he actually hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
So just keep working hard. I think that's the most important thing.
And so is this the piece of advice that you wish someone had told you like 10 years ago when you started out? What do you wish you had known?
What would I like to have known? I would like to have known that gear doesn't have to be so expensive. You can buy decent stuff for certain amounts. Don't buy a cheap guitar just because it's cheap.
So don't buy super expensive gear, but also don't buy the cheaps. Get the middle range, like the good stuff.
Just make sure that you really like what you're working with, because people always think like, oh, it's $2,000, it's so expensive. But if you play enough gigs, it's gonna cover you, and then it's gonna earn you money. You're gonna get the money back, and then you're gonna earn more money with the instrument. So you don't really want to buy like a crappy guitar and sound like crap, and then it's gonna compromise what you sound like.
So investing in quality.
Invest in quality. Yes, definitely.
Sounds like it also goes with people, right? The people that you surround yourself with, and like, whether it's your bandmates or even like your support networks, like really invest, like building a quality network that will take you through the...
For sure. I think that applies to just humans in general, like friendship and stuff like that. Yeah, but I think it's very important to know where you stand in the industry and yeah, work hard to get up there.
Okay, thanks so much, Sarah.
Thank you.